everyone, it's Hailey, and today I'm going to be doing a TBR Shelf Tour thingy majiggy. So this is totally not the video I was planning on filming today. I was planning on filming something completely different, but I have to film a ton of videos today because I'm trying to get like a head start on the May videos that I have to pre-film. I'm trying to get a head start on that stuff, but I just filmed 2 videos and I have been filming for 2 hours. So the videos that I've been filming have been taking me a long time, so I thought it might be fun to just kind of do a casual video where I'm sitting at my TBR shelves and just talking about the books that I have to read. For some reason, I really like talking about the books that I have to read. I just think that it's like something that I am looking forward to, so I like talking about them a lot. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be doing. That's why we're at this weird angle. I'm sitting on my floor. We're at like the lowest point of my shelf, also my life. Just kidding. There's just the opportunity was there. But yeah, so we're at a weird angle because my bed is in the way, so I can't really move the tripod, so it's like right in front of me. So we're just gonna deal with this, and I'm just going to be talking about the books that I have to read. I don't really know how this is gonna work yet, but we'll see. So first up we have A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. This is the second book of the Darker Shade of Magic trilogy. I read the first one, but I haven't gotten to the second one yet. I really liked the first one. I don't know why I haven't read this one yet. The last one just came out not too long ago, so I do want to get on it, but I haven't done that yet, but soon. Next up is The Shadow Queen by C.J. Redwine. This is a retelling of Snow White, and that is literally all I know about it. I just love retellings, but like, it has such a beautiful, beautiful map. I love the map on this one, and it's actually blurbed by Marissa Meyer, author of the Lunar Chronicles, so I don't know. We'll see. I literally know nothing about it. Oh, her name's Lorelai. That's like, Gilmore Girls. Very cool. Next up is Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. I tried reading Truth Witch twice now, and I tried like the first time listening to the audiobook, and then I tried the audiobook again, and the audiobook just isn't working for me. So I just need to try and like actually read it. I just haven't had the time yet to do that, and I haven't done it. So I haven't read this one, obviously. This is actually an arc of it, and it was coming out in January, I think. Yeah. Clearly I didn't read it before it came out. Next up is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader by C.S. Lewis. I believe this is the 5th one in chronological order. I'm reading them in chronological order. I don't really know, but the cover of this one makes me sad because he looks like a sad little dragon. Sad. Next up is Our Own Private Universe by Robin Talley. I keep on meaning to pick this one up, but it just hasn't been engaging me, so it's been really hard for me to pick this one up. I received an arc of it, and it came out January 31st, so once again, good job, Hailey. You really read it on time. Next is The Education of Margot Sanchez by Lilian Rivera. I know 0 things about this book. I just think the cover is very pretty, and I've heard really good things about it. I love the cover for some reason. Is it exciting under the jacket? No, not really, but it's exciting on the covers, so there's that. I feel like this is really boring and not turning out how I wanted it to, so I'm quite sorry. But next up is The Boy Most Likely To by Huntley Fitzpatrick. I got this for like $3, so I had to pick it up. It's a companion, I believe, to My Life Next Door, so yeah, I have it. Next up is Everland by Wendy Spinelli. This is a Peter Pan retelling, which makes me laugh because her name's Wendy. Like, amazing. Next up is The Land of Stories, Book 1, The Wishing Spell. And this is by Chris Colfer, and I feel like this just seems like it's right up my alley because it's all these different fairy tales that are like put into one story, and I just love that, which is interesting because I don't like the TV show Once Upon a Time, but that's mostly because I don't like any of the actors in it. Like, I feel like the acting is just really bad. Don't hate me because I know there's a lot of fangirls out there who love it, but I just never was able to get into it. But it seems like something that I would really love, which makes me sad. But yeah, I just really don't like, what's her name? The one girl. I just really don't like the one girl, so now I just don't like the rest of it. I don't know. But yeah, this seems like something I would enjoy. Next up is The Other Boleyn Girl and The Other Queen by Philippa Gregory. There was one point this past summer where I was like, I want to read all the historical fiction in the world after I read My Lady Jane, and I specifically wanted to read a bunch of stuff about the Tudor era and stuff like that, so I picked up a bunch of Philippa Gregory, and I've only read one of them, and now these are just sitting here. Next up is Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard in Book 2, The Hammer of Thor by Rick Riordan. This is one where I finally, it took me forever to read Magnus Chase, and I finally did, and I just haven't picked up the second one for some reason. I don't really know. I'm also kind of sad because the copy that I picked up, like, the spine is not centered, which is quite annoying, but you know, c'est la vie. Next up is First Life by Gina Showalter. This video is taking way longer than I thought it was going to. I like this cover. My sister said it was good, so that's how I got it. Next up is Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella. This one is one that I'll probably be picking up soon because it's really short and I believe it deals with anxiety, and in the springtime I like to read contemporaries that are kind of like hard-hitting and have more of a gritty aspect to them, if you will. So I'll probably be picking this one up very soon. Next is The Chronicles of Narnia, The Silver Chair, book 6 apparently. I don't really know. I just Google the chronological order before I read them, to be honest. But this one's apparently book 6 and I don't really like the cover for this one because it's very snaky and my mom hates snakes, so she's instilled that in me. It's kind of freaky. Don't like looking at it for too long. Next is The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. This has been on my TBR for literally forever and I just haven't picked it up. I know it's probably something that I would enjoy around spring right now, except for the fact that it has snowflakes on it, so I don't know about that. But I know it's about mental illness and it's in contemporary, and I love the cover, but I haven't picked it up yet. Why do I do this to myself? Next up is Of Fire and Stars by Audrey Colthurst. This is one that I just need to pick it up. I think it came in the December Owl Crate and like I really do want to read it. I just haven't. It's about lesbian princesses. It has a beautiful cover. It sounds amazing. I just need to read it. Next is History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. This sounds like it's going to be horribly depressing, but everything that I love in the springtime. Next up is 13 Little Blue Envelopes by Maureen Johnson. This is one that I'm planning on reading very soon because I want to read it before I leave. So I do really want to read it because it's all about traveling Europe, so it's very apropos. Next up is Emily of New Moon by Ellen Montgomery. I literally know nothing about this. I just know the cover is beautiful. It's the author of Anne of Green Gables, so I was like, yes, I want it. Ow! Oh, my elbow. Chronicles of Narnia, The Last Battle. This is the final book. I feel like, probably. Next is Beauty of Darkness by Mary E. Pearson. This is the third, I believe, final book of the Remnant Chronicles. I read books 1 and 2. I don't really remember what happened in book 2, so I think I might reread that one before I read this one. My mom's actually reading it right now because I gave her the one to read while she went away on a trip, and she read it and she really enjoyed it. So I really want to see what's going to happen, so I will probably reread the second one and then read this. It is a chunker. Like, I could kill someone with this. I wouldn't, because that would be rude, but I could. Like, if I need to defend myself, this is my weapon of choice. Actually, there's bigger books, but like this, or like City of Heavenly Fire, or like any of the Throne of Glass books, because they get really big and hefty. City of Heavenly Fire is actually pretty light for its bigness. Yeah, we're just gonna stop and move along. Next is 1000 Nights by E.K. Johnston. This has a beautiful cover. It's a retelling of 1001 Arabian Nights, I believe. I think that's the fairy tale. I always forget what it's called, but the cover is beautiful, and look, it's so pretty naked too. It's not coming up. It's fine. You saw it. You got it. Next up is Unhooked by Lisa Maxwell. This is another Peter Pan retelling, and I literally know nothing else about it, but seems cool. Next up is The Young Elites by Marie Lu. I really just need to pick this up. It seems so cool, and I feel like it's going to be something that I'll really enjoy. I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. I think I'm going to try and listen to the audiobook this month. Next is Long May She Reign by Rhiannon Thomas, a fantasy standalone. That never happens. Yay! Next up is Written in the Stars by Aisha Saeed. I got this for Christmas, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before, and I haven't read it yet because I suck. Next is Bright Smoke, Cold Fire by Rosamund Hodge. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. I have a ton of retellings on my TBR actually, which is awesome because I've really been in the mood for them, but I honestly only got this because it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and basically any Shakespeare retellings I am all about. Moving down, we have American Street by Ibi Zoboi. It's about an immigrant and she gets separated from her family, so she's kind of all on her own on the streets of Detroit. Sounds like it's going to be really sad, so I will probably read it soon. Next is Prince Caspian, The Chronicles of Narnia, book 4 in chronological order, I think. This is the next one that I have to read. That's all I know. Next is Their Fractured Light by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I love Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I just read a couple of months ago the second book in this series, which is This Shattered World, I think. Where is it? Yeah, This Shattered World, and I liked that one a lot. That was a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and this one I don't really know anything about. All I know is that it's the final book in the Starbound trilogy, which makes me sad because I love them and they have beautiful covers. Next up is Spindle by E.K. Johnston. This is the sequel to 1000 Nights, and once again this one is really pretty when it's naked. I love it. Also, this is a Canadian author who lives kind of close to me, which is really cool. Next up is I'm Not Your Manic Pixie Dream Girl by Gretchen O'Neill. I know nothing about this book other than what the title says, and I've had it for a very long time, just haven't read it. The way that I'm sitting is so painful. Ugh. But next we have Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch. This takes place in Italy. I'll probably be reading it soon because I want to read it before I go to Italy. So yeah, wow, that's a hair look. Excellent. Next is Ever the Hunted by Erin Summerall. I know nothing about this book. I always forget what it's about, but I just bought it because it has a beautiful cover. Shameless. Next is Royce Rules by Margaret Stoll. I was actually sent this from the publisher and it came with a camera. It was amazing, and it's about like a reality TV star. It sounds awesome, really easy, so I'll probably be picking this up soon. Next is Under Rose Tainted Skies by Louise Gornall. This is another one that I'll be picking up soon probably because it's all about like mental illness and it sounds amazing, and I know Emma over at Emma Books really loves it, so I feel like it's gonna be great. Next up is 1,000 Pieces of You by Claudia Gray. This cover is literally why I bought this book. It also has to do with parallel worlds, so it sounds amazing. So I will probably be getting to this soon, hopefully. I don't know, we'll see. Next up is The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West. This is definitely one that I'll be getting to this summer because it's like the perfect summer read and I am quite excited for it. Next is Anna and the Swallow Man by Gabrielle Savit. I meant to get to this past winter because it seems like the perfect winter read, but I didn't, so we're gonna have to wait until next winter now. Also, I realized I could totally read it, but I just like reading things when they go with the season, okay? Which is also why next winter I will be reading The Boy in the Straight Pajamas by, what's his name? John Boyne. And this is the 10th anniversary edition, which is shiny and beautiful. And I know that this book is going to literally take my heart out and stomp on it and cut it into a million pieces and just like stomp on it again. And it's going to be terrible and I'm going to bawl my eyes out, but I'm quite excited for it at the same time because I think it's going to be beautiful. Next is Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. This book sounds amazing. It's about pirates, like come on. Next up is Alice in Zombieland by Gina Showalter. I'm very apprehensive about this book because I know it's not actually an Alice retelling and I hate zombies. I thought it was an Alice retelling before, but then I found out it wasn't, and I know people say, oh, you're still gonna like it, like it's not zombies as they usually are, but I really don't like zombies, so I really don't think I'll like it, but I will probably be giving it a shot soon. Who knows? Next is Mad Miss Mimic. I know nothing about this. I was sent it and I agreed to being sent it, so it sounded cool apparently, but I forgot what it's about, and I really like to go into books not knowing a lot, so I'm just gonna not know what it's about. Next is Vengeance Road by Erin Bowman. I love this cover so much. It's a Western story. It sounds awesome, so all about it. Next is Venom by Fiona Paul. This book I heard was really good, and I know nothing about it. I believe it takes place in Venice, and it's kind of like a, I don't know, paranormal story, something like that. We'll see. Next up is The Warrior Heir by Cinda Williams Chima. I really want to start reading some Cinda Williams Chima because she has a ton of books and they look really cool, so I want to get to this one very soon and I hope I will. I'm saying this about all of them, but I really do want to read all of them. Like I always get in the mood to read all the books at once, but then when I actually go and pick up a book, I'm way too lazy to actually read it. It is a struggle. Next is Girl Man's Up by M.E. Gerard. I believe this deals with a bisexual character. I don't really remember, but I think someone also said that the author is Canadian, which is awesome. Next is The 1000th Floor by Catherine McGee. This was 100% a cover buy, and I haven't read it yet. They just revealed the cover for the second one, so I want to get to it soon before the second one comes out. Next is Vasa in the Night by Sarah Porter. I've heard this book is just completely weird, so I don't know. We'll see. Next is The Walled City by Ryan Grodin. This I have had literally on my TBR for so long, and I just really need to get to it. It's one of the books that has been on my TBR for the longest. Actually, this one and Vicious by V.E. Schwab have been on here forever, and I've heard amazing things about both of them. I don't know, I suck. Harry Potter fell, he's fine, it's whatever, we're just gonna let him walk it out. Next is Stars Above by Marissa Meyer. This is a collection of stories from the Lunar Chronicles. I actually have an audiobook for it, so I will be listening to that eventually. I didn't say soon that time, eventually. Next is A Shadow Bright and Burning by Jessica Cluess. I've heard mixed things about this, but it sounds awesome. I know for sure this one takes place in Victorian England, and it has to do with sorcery, so it sounds like it's right up my alley, and I just need to give it a go. And last for my main TBR is Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. We already talked about this one. I also wanted to talk about the arcs that are on my TBR, because why not? Literally, I thought this would be such a quick video to film, but here we are half an hour later. Anyways, the first arc on my TBR is A Crown of Wishes by Roshani Chachki. This isn't even technically an arc anymore, so it should be moving over to the other shelf, but I'm limiting this other shelf to only the 2 shelves that it is right now, so it's just gonna stay here for now. I am getting an audiobook for this one though, so once I get that, I will listen to it. It is companion to Star Touched Queen. Next is The Takedown by Corey Wang. It sounds so out of my comfort zone, but it sounds really cool at the same time, so I don't know, we shall see. Next is Ramona Blue by Julie Murphy. This sounds amazing and I really want to read it very soon. Next is Umberland by Wendy Spinelli. It's an Alice in Wonderland retelling. I'm all about it. I always say I'm all about it. Like, what does that even mean? I guess like I'm all about that life? I don't know. Next is A Flame in the Mist by Renee Adier. This is a Mulan retelling. Amazing! I started it, but I wasn't really in the mood for it, so I put it down, but what I read was really good, so I'm excited to get back into it once I'm in the mood. Next is The One Memory of Flora Banks by Emily Barr. I believe this is a story about a girl with amnesia. I'm not really sure, but it sounds intriguing. Next is Maud by Melanie Fishbane, and this is all about Ella Montgomery and her life, and it sounds so cool. Next is When Dimple Met Rishi by Sandhya. Someone told me how to say it, but like the DH sound isn't apparently in English, which is why it's so confusing when people try to tell me phonetically how to say it, but it's Men-un. I know that. I think I got that right, but whatever. Nonetheless, I'm reading this right now. That was a struggle. I'm reading this right now. I just started it yesterday, but I've only read like 2 pages, so you know. Wow, my hair. Ugh. Next is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. I'm so excited for this. I've never seen Leigh Bardugo write in anything other than the Grishaverse, so I'm quite excited to see her do something else. Next is Wild Beauty by Anna Marie Miclemore, and this has a beautiful cover. That's all I really know. It's coming out in September, so it's like pretty low priority right now because I'll be reading it closer to the release date. And finally is The Midnight Dance by Nikki Katz, and this is coming out in October, so this is even lower priority. It does sound really cool though. It takes place in Italy at a ballet school, and it sounds really cool. These books, like, okay, so these are kind of my priority books usually. Sorry, those bookmarks are very loud. These are kind of my priority books usually because they're arcs, so I need to read them quickly, but these ones right here are my priority. This one comes out in August, so I'm not too worried about it, but this is what I'll be reading soon. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. It was not at all quick to film like I was expecting, so go me, but awkward angles, terrible lighting for the win. I hope you guys enjoyed. I feel like it was kind of boring. I don't know, but yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!